Linux from scratch is one of the most fascinating projects in the Linux world because it teaches you how an entire Linux system is built from absolutely nothing. Instead of downloading a ready-made distribution like Ubuntu, Fedora, or Linux from scratch shows you how to create your own custom Linux system step by step, starting from just source code and a compiler. It's not actually a distribution, it's a book, a guide, and a learning experience that lets you deeply understand how Linux works internally. The concept of Linux from scratch is simple. You compile every component yourself. This means building the toolchain, the compiler, the libraries, the kernel, the shell, and every tiny utility that makes a Linux system run. In normal distributions, all of this is pre-built and packaged for you, but in LFS, you make each part yourself. This gives you complete control over your system, its size, features, speed, and behavior. It becomes your Linux built with your decisions. The process begins by using a host Linux system, usually a live environment or an existing disk. This host provides the basic tools needed to compile software, compilers, debuggers, shell utilities, and core libraries. After setting up the environment, you download the source packages, verify them, and start building a temporary tool. This temporary system includes your own version of GCC BNU, which eventually become independent of the host system. Once the temporary toolchain is ready, you chroot into a clean environment, basically entering your new mini Linux world. In this isolated space, you start building the permanent system. This includes compiling the basic commands like lscp, cat, and grep, which come from a collection called the core utilities. You also build the system libraries, the file system hierarchy, and the startup scripts that control how your system boots. Everything is built manually, which means you configure, compile, and install each component one by one. One of the most important parts of the journey is compiling the Linux kernel itself. In regular distros, the kernel is pre-configured for general hardware, but with LFS, you configure it exactly how you want. You choose which drivers to include and which features to enable. The result is a kernel optimized for your hardware, which can make your system faster and lighter. After the kernel, you set up the bootloader, usually grub2, make your new system boot. Once that's done, you exit the chroot environment, reboot, and you're now in your own handcrafted Linux system. This final system has no package manager, no desktop environment, and no pre-installed software unless you add it. It's a pure minimalist base, and from here, you can expand it however you like. Many users take the next step and explore beyond Linux from scratch, which guides you through adding more advanced software like graphical desktops, web browsers, servers, and development tools. BLFS basically lets you convert your bare LFS system into a complete, fully functional distribution built on your own terms. The biggest benefit of Linux from scratch is learning. You understand exactly how Linux boots, how libraries link together, how executables are assembled, and how the entire system fits like a puzzle. It improves your troubleshooting skills, deepens your understanding of Linux architecture, and gives you a sense of mastery over your operating system. It's also perfect for building custom lightweight systems for embedded devices or specialized projects. However, it's not for everyone. LFS takes time, sometimes days or even weeks to complete if you're doing it carefully. It requires patience, attention to detail, and a willingness to fix errors manually. Unlike regular distros, you don't get updates automatically, and there's no package manager to install software with one command. Everything is manual, and that's exactly the point. It's a learning tool, not a convenience distro. In the end, Linux from scratch is a journey. It's not about the final system, it's about the process, the knowledge you gain, and the deeper appreciation of how Linux works under the hood. If you've ever wanted to build your own distro or understand Linux on a deeper level, LFS is one of the best ways to do it.